Hi everyone, this is Lorena from the Desk of Lorena. Today I'm going to bring you guys some more nail art videos showcasing our winter collection. It's called the Too Hot to Handle, and we've got some amazing colors. They are very rich in hue and you're going to love them. We've got a light one and up to some dark ones, and also a very metallic, almost chromatic kind of fuchsia color. It's beautiful. So I'm going to show you, if you can just see here, the nail art designs that are showcased this week, all done with this collection. I haven't included anything else except for these four colors. So I'm going to show you this week a few of the kind of beginner, intermediate level designs. And when we go on to the next video next week, I'll show you some more advanced designs. So I'm going to start really quickly by showing you the first one. Now, this is a take on a design that's been done quite a bit, and so some of you might already learned this technique. But what I've done now is laid down the first color, which is our stockings and stilettos from our holiday party collection. Two very beautiful chunky glitters, a silver and a gold. And I've done 2 coats of it, curing 30 seconds in between in an LED light. So that would be, 2 minutes in a UV light. So after that's cured, what you're going to do is you want to just leave your sticky layer on there, your inhibition layer. And I'm taking this beautiful, really pretty kind of raspberry fuchsia color called Hot to Trot. And I'm going to, in a very thin, just one layer, and you can see that you can see through it. And I'm going to bring that down one thin layer about halfway down the nail. Okay, get a nice even application. Make sure you cover the entire surface. And that's good there. Now you're going to take your second color, and for this one I'm going to blend into that color from the bottom to about the middle point. So last year. This is a very beautiful purple color. It is really opaque, so we want to thin it out and use very little amount of product. So I'm going to start at the bottom and brush back and just blend right over that fuchsia color. Now I'm going to remove some color off my brush and thin that out at the tip. You don't want it too thick. You almost want it see-through if you can get it, just a little bit. So we've got to pull some color off since it is very dense and opaque. It's got a lot of rich pigment in there. There, I'm thinning it out just a little bit. You want to be able to allow the top coat that we're going to use as little droplets with using a marbleizing tool or a dotting tool. And we're going to, just here on one of our entity forms, you can use anything if you guys want to use like a little ceramic plate or whatever you work on as a palette. A lot of people have like the little rings that they put on as a paint palette. Now I'm going to take our entity top coat, and I'm just going to put a couple drops of that on my form. And while this is wet, so you have not cured this yet, you're going to take the bead from a marbleizing tool and you're going to pick up drops of top coat, and you're just going to drop them. You're not going to press into the product, and you want to separate these drops. You don't want them to touch. They're going to blend into each other and leave little tiny spaces that will create some dimension and detail between the dots. And what that's going to do, you can see that happening now. It's going to let the color underneath pop through, and at the same time it creates a design. So it's really cool because once you get creative, you can do like snake skin or giraffe print or whatever you want to do. A lot of animal prints are done with this technique, and it's really neat when you start playing around with the background colors and the sizes of the beads that you drop. You can even drop different shapes down once you really get into it. It's really kind of cool. The darker colors take a little more time to separate or open up. You might need to drop a little more product. So and there we go. This one here is easy. I just blended, I did 2 colors, and you can see where I dropped the beads right in the center. The colors will kind of blend together. So you don't have to worry that you do a perfect fade. And we're going to give that purple a little bit more time for those little dots to open up so that you can see them a little better. Now once you've done that, it's time to cure. And because it's a little thicker, being that you put a thin layer of color and you blend them together and the top coat on top, you want to make sure you get a really perfect cure. So we're actually going to go in for 60 seconds just to make sure that everything's cured properly. And I'm going to have to hold this little stick down to make sure the light stays on. And then you're going to finish that design off with one more coat of top coat over that, remove your inhibition layer, and we're good to go. So I want to make sure I give you guys a couple of designs at least, if not more, in this little video. So I'm going to do the next one. And here I have laid down 2 coats, cured each one for 30 seconds. And I apologize for not knowing all my colors. This is a really cool one. I love it. It's Smitten with Mittens. And we are going to leave that in there to cure. And here I've done the background color. Now what I'm going to do is just blot down the other colors from the collection. So there's actually, so last year, which we already used, I showed you that purple, Too Hot to Trot, which is that really pretty metallic fuchsia color. And then there's a dark green is really nice. It's called Trendy and I Know It. That's a really cool one. And I think I used in this design here, you want to just get this. So these are your background colors on top of the first layer of the background, which is this nice, beautiful nude color. I did incorporate the gold glitter called Stockings and Stilettos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the entire nail, and I started with 1 coat of the fuchsia colored one. This is really pretty. And I just go over the entire nail. And again, you want to do it relatively thin since you're going to be layering color on top of color. You want to make sure that you don't make it too thick and end up with any shrinking or wrinkling when you cure this. Now all I'm going to do is take the other colors and kind of brush them, almost like in a dry brush. So if you want to remove some color, you can do that, and that way you don't apply too much color. Now my Trendy and I Know It, that dark, almost like hunter green color. And just in different sections, and I'm going to finish it off with a little bit of the Stockings and Stilettos just to give it some bling. And you want to do it sporadic, so kind of add them here and there. Now I do want my design to have a little more fuchsia, so I'm just going to go back and add a little bit of that first color. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take a number 4 to 6, whichever one you prefer, of a design brush. Okay, and I'm going to make sure I clean that with my Entity Success Liquid or Signature, whichever you prefer. And you want to use monomer. Make sure that you're using monomer to clean your brushes off. It's going to save the life of the brush, and it's going not to dry them out, which is nice. So you don't ever want to use acetone or brush cleaner. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to kind of go like in a shoelace type pattern. And excuse me, I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. So I'm going to go from one corner and come down at an angle. And if you have a little bit of color left in that section where you cut out, I'm just going to clean my brush, dry it off, and then go back and clean that up. And I always clean off between each stroke. And you're almost going like in an X-type pattern. So from this corner, and you're going to bring down and cut more product off. It almost gives the illusion of like a corset or kind of a ballerina shoe, like the lace tied up. You can make it look different, like, you know, different designs, but I just love these colors together. And it's a really simple design. It's real effective. It's really bold. So I think for the holidays it would be really cool. And you could even do bows and stuff like that. So here we go. That was pretty simple. I'll turn that around for you. And you want to make sure you get that in the light quickly so that this color doesn't move since it is laid on a little thick. And we're going to go ahead and cure that again for 60 seconds. Come on, light. There we go. Okay, I'm going to show you one more real quick. Now here I just wanted to use a white palette, so I just left my design stiletto tip just plain white, and I'm going to, same technique that I showed you with this last design, take those colors and just sporadically put them on the tip. So it actually looks kind of messy, and I even tell my clients that in the salon. Don't worry, it looks messy now, but it's going to be really pretty in the end. These are really cool winter, even fall type colors. Now for this one, I'm going to go ahead and add my silver chunky glitter, and this one's called, I always forget this one, Backless and Bold. Sorry about that. So we're going to do the silver, and we're just going to drop some of that in those empty spaces. Make sure when you do pick up some color on your brush that you clean it really well on a clean towel, table towel, or lint-free brush wipe before you put it back in the bottle. Okay, so now what we're going to do, here's the trick. I'm going to take, everyone knows what the back of a form looks like, this almost wax paper type stuff, and I'm going to just take the pieces that I'm going to throw in the trash, I don't no longer use it, I'm going to crunch them up. Okay, and I kind of came upon this technique yesterday by accident. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cure this for literally 2 seconds. I want to go into the light, and I want to get it to go on. Come on. Wait, 1, 2. So about that much cure time. It's very wet, but you don't want it completely wet. Otherwise, you will not be able to get this technique. And you're going to take that wrinkled up kind of wax paper, and I'm not using real wax paper. I'm literally using the back of a form on the like waxy kind of side. So not the back of a form, I'm sorry, the paper that the form is actually on. And some forms come on plastic, so this happens to be the paper. I'm going to now dab those wrinkles in different, just all over the nail, and pick up. You might need to take that paper and throw it away and get another one. You can see where my design is coming through now. What it's doing is it's lifting off some of that halfway or, you know, not completely cured color. And it leaves like the marks from the wrinkles. And I think that's a really cool look. Super easy. You don't have to know how to do nail art. It's very effective. And people are going to love it. They're going to wonder, like, how did you do that? It's almost like you marbled it, but you really didn't. So it's a different look. Kind of tie-dye-ish, I would think. Let's get that one cured for a minute as well. And that's it. So you're going to take your UV top coat or EOCC top coat. It's cured in LED or UV. So 60 seconds in, always 60 seconds in an LED or 3 minutes in a UV light. Put one coat of that. With nail art, sometimes I tend to do 2 if the nail art is a little bit on different levels. It's a little bumpy. You want to smooth it out. You could also use our builder gel, and then you're gonna cure either one, whichever you use. Remove your inhibition layer, and let's just show you the finished designs. So this was one of them. That was our cutout. And this was our new technique. We haven't created a name for that. So anybody want to send me some ideas, I'd be happy to see them. And this is our nail art using top coat to actually create the design. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed those. I'm Lorena from the Desk of Lorena. This was episode 2. And I hope you guys really practice these designs. And, you know, if you want to, tag me on Facebook. I'd love to see your stuff. And I'll see you next week. Thanks.